What's going on, good people? What's going on? It's your boy Karceno here, and let's get things into perspective. All right. Um, Once again, we're in a situation where you see most people are not what they say. It's a road less traveled. That's what it looks like here, a road less traveled. The Minnesota Timberwolves was caught in a situation where they went up against a team that's just better than them. I mean, I gotta say it because for some reason people just don't seem to get it. Okay, all right, that's better. It's a little light. I'm like, what's up with this light on this camera? But yes, this team is better than them. OKC is playing better. They have a strategy in what they're doing against Minnesota. Now, the problem in this game, too, was Ant-Man. Ant-Man made a critical mistake in this game, and they kind of went away from what was working. And this is when they say you get too much production from one person that don't normally get production, and it could throw the whole team out of whack. And you're probably like, well, what do you mean? Well, for instance, when the game started, they kind of was getting blitzed early. Well, this isn't the old. He's going up against really his class. OKC now. He didn't did the get rid of the old heads thing. Now he's playing his cast. If you look here, as they swinging the ball, they're attacking the lanes early, pull up jump shots. That's fine and dandy, taking what's there because they're blocking the lanes. But you see what they're doing? They're putting bodies on Rudy. Ant-Man gets it, pump fakes, right? He drives the lane and goes to the rim. Get something easy at the rim. Look at that magnet ball. Jesus Christ. Now, OKC has seen how Minnesota played. They actually have coached their strategy to play zone. They normally play man. But in this series, they have played a lot of zone defense. And the reason they're playing a lot of zone defense is because it helps them when it's time to rotate and get over to the next defender. Like as you see right there, you see how they got to put it back so quick, get into their spots. Minnesota is going to have a hard time matching up with the back line. Now look, athleticism, beat him to the spot. He gets there, stops, hits the right man, makes the right play, gets tipped, but he made the right feed, Conley. Now he goes back out. It was a broken play. So McDaniels gets an open look for a three. Results. Right? So what are you starting to see now? You're starting to see a lot of different entities come into play. Now, there's a swing. Here's another swing. Right? He gets to the free throw line. Nah, man, that's a heck of a pick. Get the spacing. Ant-Man's knocking down jumpers. Right? This seems like the right play. This seems like the right thing to do. Right? Look at that. Nice defense, though. To deny. Okay, box him in, trap him. Now who's going to get the cutter? Nobody? Okay. Now here's a step back jump shot. That's just hard. He had an easy shot and just made it more challenging. by doing a step back maneuver. That made no sense, but he did it. Now, what's happening here? Okay, they corral the rebound. They start dribbling. There it is. Conley pulls up for three. Now, from the offset of this game, the problems that you're seeing with the lineup is that they're new to the zone. OKC does not play zone and hasn't really played zone this entire playoffs. And they'll switch to zone and start. Now they're playing man now, but normally they play zone. I mean, normally they've been playing in this series. They switch to zone because they want to clog those lanes to keep Anthony Edwards out of the lanes. Let them shoot on the outside. They're comfortable with letting Minnesota shoot on the outside, daring them to beat them from the outside. Keep them out of the lane. That's how they win their games. They've been dominating on the inside, and Julius Randle's been punishing them with second chance shots and short shots inside the nail free throw line. So if you limit Julius Randle, as I told you, you're going to win. You got to stop Julius Randle. It's not about stopping Ant-Man. Let Ant-Man do what he wants. Stop Julius Randle, and you win. And that's what they've been doing for the past two games. It's been focusing on Julius Randle. He was hot the first half of the last game, and he was terrible ever since. He cost my boy $500, so my boy is not happy with Julius Randle right now. That's the only guy he needed to do something. Yeah, Ant-Man was doing a lot of isolating too. So he went on the offensive this game. And when he did that, they kind of went away from Julius. Well, the game is close, but you're playing their style of basketball. OKC knows that they got the advantage. They know what they like with their shots. And so far, they were getting a lot of shots that they like on Minnesota. Now, Dante, he can get open and get some shots off, but they need him to be more of a threat going towards the basket to break down this defense. Now, look, they rotate back to Dante again. Slow rotation by Williams. And Dante is able to hit a three. 5-point game for OKC. But they're able to get to their spots. To beat OKC, you got to be physical. You're going to have to get them off of their spots. Don't let them get anything comfortable. Look at that. Bounce pass in the chat. Look at that. Too close to the rim. Well, when you know you're dealing with sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. Look, you're dealing with a situation where look at the guys. Look at the space. Look at that. Pump and go, show and go. Athleticism. He goes straight up, hits off the glass, and in. Tough shot. But defensively, y'all still running around, trying to rotate. Look, guys are running, don't know where to be. You got guys open right now. Look, slip out. Look, he could just pop out. There's a bounce pass. Oh, I can go right in. I already got this deep. I could turn on these two right here. I could fade. I'm this close. That's easy. And I said, if Minnesota going to win, they have to stop Jalen Williams. You cannot let Williams get off. If Williams get off, you're going to lose. It is as simple as that. You have to stop him. And on the other side, they have to stop Julius Randle. I told you that on both games. Doesn't matter about Shea. It doesn't matter about Anthony Edwards. It don't matter about them. Forget the names. You need the guys that's going to help you win the game, that's going to make the difference. Those are the guys that's going to make the difference. Most guys didn't see it that way. We saw it a little bit differently than, some of the other past people that were around. But I'll tell you one thing. It was not a pretty sight. Because as much as Minnesota had to fight today just to stay in the game in the first half, you knew this wasn't going to last long. Now, Minnesota, once again, depended on the outside shot. They settled tonight, and it cost them. Early, they were hitting shots. Yeah, my buddy is still mad at him. That's Jersey. Yeah, there. Yeah, he's still mad at him. It's not a terrible matchup. It's just that they're not. OKC is in a zone. Like they know what they're doing. You see how they draw people in, kick out? Minnesota scrambling. Nobody got on Caruso. I told people Alex Caruso can shoot. What are you thinking? He's a tough defender, and he'll hit 1 or 2 threes a game. For the Chicago Bulls, this is what he did. He was a perfect fit for them. All he had to do was stay true to form. He had to stay true to who he was as a player. Pump fake, show and go. Look at this. Easy pull up. Well, there goes on Ant-Man. So right now the game is close. Minnesota gets the rebound. Now they got to push in transition. Now, if you can keep OKC on the back of their heels in transition, that's good for you. But they play this game. Now, here's what's wrong with Minnesota. Bad reads. You see that? McDaniels should have had that ball a long time ago. Ant-Man want to take it coast to coast himself. Bad reads. Minnesota is a team of bad reads. They have guys wide open and they think of themselves than moving the ball around. Hero ball. And because of these bad reads, it leads to open shot situations. Now look at the back down. There's a step back, one leg shot, pull up, results. Now, it's 51-45. Still a tight game. It's only a 6-point game. But the style of play, look, they're going in the zone. And see, Chad got to realize if they're in a zone, he can't play off that much and give up space to shooters. They have long, lanky shooters. So if you're in the zone, you're blocking the lanes, you're forcing them to shoot outside. This is going to be some of the results you're going to see. Now you're starting to see, look at them. They make the turn and burn, get towards the basket, pull up, payoff. You can't let them just get to their spots. You got to be physical with OKC, or it's not going to work. Okay, there's the pop out. Okay, now here it is. Athleticism, show and go. Drive to the basket. It's a tough shot. But again, what is it? A one-on-one basketball play. Trying to win games like that only going to get you hurt. Look, the control is there. Minnesota goes in their zone, and they can just pick the zone apart because they got shooters. Shea improved his three-point shooting. He got the MVP award. Well, he's giving Shea some difficulty. You know, Shea's going to be Shea. Okay, he going to get guys in foul trouble, but he has made it difficult for Shea. He's not getting anything easy. The only thing, like right here, like he put a lot of pressure on them on the offensive end because they were getting no production out of Julius Randle. But when McDaniels started putting up 22 points, you know your team is struggling. And see, he had to take up some of the slack while Julius was down there banging for rebounds. So he altered his game to be more like, y'all take it. I ain't got it tonight. I'm just going to play the different role. I'm just be down here, but you know, setting picks and rumbling. And McDaniels, you got it going. Once that happens, your team is out of whack. They're not used to playing that way. Now, look, open shots against the zone. They finna tear you apart. And when OKC goes on the run, game's over. The game's over. You're not coming back. Yeah, but he was down there battling. That's what I said. He had an overall bad game. And he cost my buddy $500. I mean, OKC had a fight. Minnesota fought them. Even in the blowout, Minnesota was fighting. Because yeah, they was fighting because this is why you do it. Because you want to see what works. Because this is how a series works. You want to know what you was doing that was working, even in a blowout. Because what you can do is change what you've been doing and change your approach and change how you how you go about the series. You know, that's how the Pistons beat the Bulls. When the Bulls won those 2 games to 1, and we came out with the Jordan rules, that was in the middle of the playoffs. We switched them up. We started hitting Jordan with more double teams in the post, forcing the ball out of his hands. He had a terrible shooting. His percentage was down as we ran them out the gym. And it was completely his fault. Oh, yeah. Well, it got to 11. Minnesota started missing those long shots, and they was on the back of their heels trying to keep up with OKC. Well, look at that slash. Look at that. Finish at the rim. See, they know how to run the breaks. Now they playing D. It's just that when you play a team that know what they're doing, you playing a team that know what they're doing. Look at this. Now they got a 12-point lead. Normally a 12-point lead isn't that severe. So you should be able to survive it, right? It's thrown up. Oh, that was a good one by Chet. But you see, transition. They're playing on their back heels. They can't get shots to go. And they brick it. So this whole third quarter, Minnesota got shut down. They couldn't get their rhythm back that they had in the first half. And they were getting beaten transition. Look at this. Blown assignments. And they're getting to their spots. Penetrate. Open shot. Easy. This is out the timeout. You still giving up open shots. You cannot beat OKC playing this way. Shea isn't the problem. You have to stop the other ancillary players that they have. Now, here's the penetration again. Look, he gets right to the spot, takes 2 steps, dishes it off. Look, at the rim. They go inside, outside. They play big. But all of it, look, they're still, okay, now they're playing man. Julius Randle's guarding Shea. This is not good. Pull, yep, he drew him in, open shot. Dante got there, but that's too late. See, when guys have a lead, certain guys shoot better because they feel protected. Like if we miss, we up 20. Shots a lot more relaxed. Now, Anthony Edwards. Right? Now it's 93-69. They've been stuck on 69 forever. Here he comes, right? This is why I say stat sheets deceive you. Because, yep, he's competing. He's trying to see if he could force something to happen. So even though he had 32 points, it was sporadic. I never saw Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren getting 22. That's pretty high for him. But Jalen Williams can't score 26 points. He said when Dort is killing you, you in bad shape. Dort! Look at this. This is why I say you can't let OKC get up 20. If OKC go up 20, you're in trouble because they have mid-range shooters. They have guys that could get to the spots. They're not concerned with your concerns. That's what I like most about them. They're not concerned. Will I see a difference in Minnesota? They're going to need some help from the whistle to get guys in foul trouble because, yeah, they're going to need plays more like this early on at the basket. They settled for outside jump shots early in this game. OKC was like, we're going to clog the lanes and say shoot outside. And they did. And Minnesota is not built to shoot from the outside all game. So you were playing right to what OKC wanted you to do. Meanwhile, you're not stopping them. Look, they get into any spot they want. Shea can have 38, 40, whatever. Don't worry about Shea getting his. Worry about stopping everybody else. That's what's going to cost you the game. Anthony Edwards got to realize you cannot just go one-on-one all the time. You can't go one-on-one and think you're going to win an NBA championship playing this way. This is this failed AAU product, man. This is the product of our game. No guy, the guys don't have any moves anymore. That's all they could do is pull up jump shot. They dribble, pull up jump shot. It's no flow to the game anymore, no style, no substance to it. Anthony Edwards is going to have to grow, and he's going to have to do it fast, especially if he wants to advance. But you're missing reads. Now he's tired. He can't be involved in the play because he's been using so much energy. He's got to rest on defense. So now he corrals Anthony Edwards. It's a 15-point lead with 4 minutes to go. Anthony Edwards drives, penetrates. Look, he had the pass right there. Didn't give it up. Look, didn't give it up at all. Wants to go himself. He just don't understand the game. Oh, how to win. You know, and it's unfortunate he's going to take some L's before he realizes how to win. Way to go behind the back. Jalen Williams goes behind his back on the steal, gives up the ball, right? Goes right to Chet. He goes up. Oh, they don't call a play. Jalen Williams follows it up, lays it straight up in the rim. This is the game. You know, this is where people skill sets are. This is what shows up on the clock. You know, where people got to look and see, you know, what it is that they're doing. There's the swing. Oh, look at that. Penetrate. Dish. Chet's right there. You don't have Rudy in the game. They guy could be on the floor. Jalen Williams, top of the key. Shea, look, they doubling Jalen Williams. They get a ball to Shea. Look how patient he is. They basically got the game wrapped up. Back to Jalen Williams. Y'all cannot run a two-man defensive Oh my God. That's just terrible by Minnesota. Y'all got to get better. Y'all switches is slow, way too slow. They're not even trying really. They just like, well, let's run this play. Let's run the clock out, you know. Now here's your double. Look at the spacing. Shea already knows he's got a guy open. He leans into the defender, sees it, goes up, says, I could take it. He had three options. He could have went to to Chet. He had the open three at the top of the key, but he's like, I got the advantage here. I could score. And they maintain the lead. That's why I say it's certain teams you don't want to go down 20 points to, and that's OKC. It is hard to come back on OKC if they get up by a big lead. And there's McDaniels, pulls up for another three. And as you can see, Julius Randle is just not in the mix. They went away from home. So, as you can see, they got smoked. And for the second game in a row, they have not found a way to impact OKC. So this is going to get ugly before it gets better. So I just thought I'll leave that with y'all right there. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. I'm not going to do a panel tonight. Too tired. Save it for tomorrow. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Welcome to HDII TV, 78 Sports TV. Go to my Patreon, which is Karceno for Life. And I'm out.